Hey everybody, welcome back to Stratego Freaks for another challenge match. Today should be really fun. We're going to be watching. Let me make sure we're turned on here. I'm going to have to update unfortunately, I'll be updating the thumbnail after the match. So I do apologize for that. But the bottom line is... Okay, so we are up and running. Today's challenge match is going to be between my friend JIREN and Big Chris, BC. And these guys are pretty well known in the Stratego community. Real nice guys, solid players, pretty good friends. And there was a little bit of trash talk going on, and I believe old Big Chris, BC, challenged JIREN to a best of 3. And, of course, I'm going to live stream these matches. So this will be game 1 of their best of 3. They've yet to schedule the other ones. And hopefully we can showcase all of them for you. And you guys can join the fun, too. Once again, I apologize for the thumbnail. I did not get a chance to get it done, but I will do that after the fact, and I'll be more organized in the future for sure. Let's take a look while we're waiting over at the rankings really quick. And where is our good friend JIREN? JIREN is very solid, top-notch player, sitting at 15 right now on Strategos. And he's trying to make his way up to that 700 mark, which I have no doubt he will do in the next few months. And I told him he'd probably get to 800. And all you need is one good win streak. If you can get to 700, I believe you can get to 800. So I think JIREN is more than capable of doing that. And that's my prediction right there. And we're going to scroll down and look for Big Chris. I have no idea where Big Chris is actually on the... Let's see if I'll probably go right by him. There he is at 367. He's got a higher ELO than I do right now. So Big Chris, he'll be making his run to A rate pretty soon as well. So there's quite a bit of difference in their ELO. But I do expect a really fun and competitive few matches here before us. And while we're waiting for these guys, let's take a look at the current tournament situation. A big shout out to Eagle06 for winning the Doc tournament, beating his father. I believe that is his dad. And that's pretty wild, father and son. The apple didn't fall too far from the tree because Napoleon's one of the best guys out there. And apparently he's passed that Stratego gene on to his son, Eagle06. So congratulations to both father and son for an outstanding showing in the Doc tournament. And both of them getting to the final. And playing it, Eagle bested his dad, which is, pretty cool. And I'm sure Napoleon's pretty proud to be in the final and to play his son, who's, one of the best to do it. So congratulations to both gentlemen for a magnificent showing, and, especially to Eagle06 for winning. So that's his winning ways continue, and we've only started to see the best of Eagle. Let's keep going. This is madness. I don't even know what's happening. It looks like we're waiting on a few guys to finish up here, but wow. Once again, the Greeks doing it and doing it well. Dutch, Belgium, we're waiting on let's get to the brackets here. BFG is waiting for the winner of True Aim and Garufalo. That's going to be good. There's our good friend Skyfall. He had another magnificent showing. But I'll be trying to tune in and watch the winner of the Dutch-Belgian championship there. That's pretty cool. The USA, let's look at the brackets here. I Know Things Good is in the final, waiting for the winner of Mantis Marcy, which takes place tomorrow at 9 a.m. Hopefully old Mantis, that's me, can continue the winning ways. I mean, I had to go through Zach and Winner to get to another juggernaut in Marcy Regina Wu. Although you don't see Marcy in the leaderboard, this is clearly one of the best in the game right now, and I've definitely have my hands full. I'm going to need to play my very best and probably get a bit lucky to beat Marcy Regina Wu, or as I like to call him, Marcy Regina Noob. but we'll give it a go, and we'll see what happens there. And what else is going on here? Oh yeah, the new winter tournament. Please sign up for that. It's filling up pretty good. Me and Nemesis jumped in there today, and there's a lot of top-notch players. If you're new to the game, don't be afraid to jump in. Some of the big names are in there. Who knows if who would have thought that in the USA tournament that I Know Things Good and Mantis would be, possibly in the final. That's wild. So I didn't expect to get there, but there I am. And, it is what it is. So now I'm just waiting on our good friends. It looks like Jiren's in a match. Hopefully he'll finish this game before their start time of 1 p.m. PST. And that should be great. This should be a real fun match today. But anyways, getting back to the match today, Big Chris is a guy I've gotten to know a little bit. Played a little poker, played a few games. And Chris is a former King of Strategist winner. And I think he beat me to get that crown. And so congratulations to Chris, to win that. And, he'll always be a king. He's in the Hall of Kings for that performance and took my crown. So good job to Big Chris, BC as I call him. And but once again, he's got his hands full against Jiren. As I mentioned, there's a few hundred ELO points that separate the two of those guys. And, Big Chris is going to have to play very well in order to secure a victory. So it's a best of 3. So, I expect some real fun, aggressive play and smart play from both contestants. So we do have a few minutes before we start here. Oh, one thing I wanted to bring up was if you're tuning in, please like and subscribe to Stratego Freaks. We're really trying to grow this game. All the likes and subscriptions, and you could even donate. We have our Buy Me a Coffee link in the description of the channel, and any donation is a good donation. And we're looking to use those proceeds for a variety of things to go back into Stratego Freaks. That would be cool. Any donation is a good donation. Don't forget to join the Discord, home of Stratego Freaks, as well as the many other. You can, basically join the Discord, and if you want to get good at the game, I can direct you to other Discords as well, where you can kind of glean all the educational content that those channels do offer and the different players, and you can, ask point blank questions to some of the best players to do it if you're looking to improve your game. Everybody's pretty much, looking to give that knowledge and information to anybody that wants to, get into Stratego. Maybe you played a long time ago and you're refining it, or maybe you're brand new. It doesn't really matter. I started playing again after like 20-something years of not even thinking about the game. And I've really enjoyed the friends I've made, what the game does for me personally. It tries to keep this old brain sharp, and I highly recommend it. It kind of keeps you. I have a bit of a ADD, and my brain is always all over the place. So I feel like games like Stratego, chess, and other things that help me keep dialed in when I need to be. So I'm highly recommending it to anybody that wants to stay sharp. My father, he is 93 years old, and he still is gaming. The guy he's doing a flight simulator, and he's sharp as a tack in his 90s, and is still doing it. So that's a testament right there of how these, doing brain games, learning new things will keep you sharp. And, hopefully, I'm looking at Henry and Jiren. They're kind of a poor timing on Jiren's part. Hopefully he didn't get the time wrong here with the time change, but we'll see. And we'll just have to give game 1 over to Big Chris if Jiren doesn't show up on time. Yeah, that's right. That's how we're going to do it. Just kidding. We'll just, of course, we'll make some accommodations, but things do happen. Number two, I wanted to talk about is I have a best of 7 with Winner that we're still trying to figure out a proper time to play. We both have some real scheduling issues. It's like his preferred times don't coincide, but hopefully we can figure that out because that should be really interesting. As I mentioned, I managed to get a victory in the quarterfinal against Winner, a game which I did not think I would win, but I did. Thank goodness for a memory error and some couple good decisions there at the end to kind of keep it where it needed to be in order for me to get that victory. But he wants to he challenged me to a best of 7, which I gladly accepted. I'm looking to challenge anybody that wants to challenge me. So if you're out there and you want to play against Mantis, let me know. You can let me know in the comments or join the Discord, and we'll get some games out and hopefully be able to showcase them for you. The goal of a best of 7 against Winner for me is winning one game, which doesn't sound like I'm setting the bar too high, but you're talking about top 2 guys in the online world, and I'm clearly not there. But I have managed to secure some wins over him before, so why not do it again? I'm going to give it a go for sure. And here we are waiting, and I'm waiting to see the end of this JIREN-Henry match quickly. And hopefully Henry puts the clamp down and just beats JIREN so we can move on, or vice versa. But we'll see what happens. It always kills me that we set these up. I set the time up to do a live stream, and then a bozo like JIREN decides to start a game 5 minutes before his scheduled match with Big Chris. JIREN, what are you doing? You're killing me. I'm out there doing yard work, coming in, trying to get this done, and he's playing a match with Henry Domerkin. What are you doing? Oh, well, it is what it is. Nobody's perfect. That's for sure, especially me. Yeah, so I'll probably play some this evening. I got to warm up for my match tomorrow. Once again, I'm playing Marcy Regina Noob tomorrow at 9 a.m. That will be made viewable, so hopefully if anybody wants to watch that on Stratego. And I'll record the game and probably do a post-game analysis regardless of the outcome. I got to reach Dave. If you're listening, I got to talk to Dave and get his permission to post the match in which he beat me as well. And I had a game in the USA tournament against Chaos Agent. I'm not even going to post it just because it was just so bad that there really is nothing to it that would even make it entertaining. I was kind of, you ever just play the worst game of your life and get outplayed and all that? Well, that's what happened to me. So, congrats to Chaos Agent for destroying me in that. But I think the content with Dave is interesting because I went into that with a total game plan. And it's a perfect example of how your game plans can work against you. And I think that makes for an interesting topic. For me, when I'm playing, most of my games are not a game plan. It's just like I'll just throw some, a variation of my previous setups, and I don't even care. I don't even know who I'm playing. But when I know who I'm playing, I kind of research some of their games, their style, and then try to make a setup that I think will help me attain the victory. And I kind of made I committed to everything that I thought. And sometimes when you commit to something, when you're, wrong, in the case in which I played Dave, it's just catastrophic. But as I said, sometimes when you commit and you're convicted in those convictions there, you just and you on your reads and your game plan, and you're correct, you can steamroll really good players. And that was kind of my plan. Was I basically disrespected a few pieces, and it just put me on my back foot. He went up in material early. I could never recover, and he pretty much smashed me. But I think there's, the content in that match might be entertaining, and it might be helpful. Because if you're like me and you game plan, sometimes you got to shift gears depending on what's going on in the match, and your reads and all those things. You got to consider everything, and I did not do that, and that showed because I got destroyed in that match. But somehow I made it to the semifinal, so I'm not going to beat myself up too bad. So yeah, it's still pretty wild though that we would have I Know Things Good and Mantis in a potential final. Like who saw that coming, right? Especially with the stacked field that was in there. It's pretty wild. I mean, Nemesis was in that group. Winner, Zach, obviously Marcy's still in there. But Maelstrom, come on, give me a break. These guys are all killers, and it would be wild to have I Know Things Good and Mantis in the final. That just nobody saw that coming, which is one more reason you should sign up if you haven't played in a tournament. If you know the fundamentals of the game, play well, and as I said, have a little luck on your side, you can make a run and hopefully get a medal. So we're still waiting on Jiren, and I hope somebody's pestering that dude in a message. I'm going to jump over to I'm waiting for a bunch of comments about how I didn't update the live stream. So we'll see what's going on there. And where are these guys? Yellow. Hey, there's Captain. What's up, Captain? I'm checking in on the live comments right now. Hello, Charlie and Smalley. And trivia with Ben. What's up, dude? I don't know if I've seen you before. Oh, it's Jiren. Jiren. Okay, Jiren. My apologies. And right now I'm going to be mispronouncing his name on purpose because he's missing our scheduled time. Jiren. Dang you. You're killing me. My God. Jiren. I'm going back to Jiren. I'm not going to show this guy any respect on his name. Due to the fact that he's making me wait, I'm losing my mind. I know Big Chris will be on time. You can count on BC. My God. No, I care. Trivia with Ben. You'll have to forgive my lack of pronunciation skills, okay? Right. Thank you, Captain. Captain, we've got to get some poker going soon. Maybe talk old Silver Hammer into some friendly poker session. Yeah, I hope Henry lottos him too. Because at this point, I'm just bitter. And, yeah, you're kind of way off there, old trivia with Ben, because I do care. I'm doing it for engagement and to grow this community. So there will be mistakes. It's Mantis you're talking about. And Mantis is known for his mistakes. What's up, Duncan? Welcome. See, all these people are waiting and tuning in, and you got this dude, JIREN, who completely just has us all hanging. Why? Well, anyways, I'll just talk about the weather here in Sacramento. It is like high 70s. The sun is out. I spent the last 4 hours in the yard, cutting the grass, trimming, pruning, getting ready for a planting. Hope to grow some 12-foot sunflowers here this summer. Put a bunch of flowers in so the insects come in. If you don't know, I'm a photographer and I love wildlife, and I plant a bunch of flowers to get these bugs and butterflies and cool things coming in here, and it gives me a lot of stuff to capture and showcase on my galleries that I do have. If anybody's out there, can you send JIREN a message that he's totally blowing it? Yeah. I think JIREN needs to sacrifice a kernel in the beginning to make up for this. Yeah, just keep pestering him, please. Because you know we're going to give this guy a hard time when we get back to the Discord. Here I am, planning these things, taking time out of my day, and this dude decides to start another match 5 minutes before his scheduled best of 3. And we're all... How many people in this chat right now? I don't even know. My God. Well, I mean, maybe Sir Ball and Zach will show their game. The least JIREN could have done, we're going back to JIREN, was at least let us view the Henry Domerkant game. But no. No, that's not going to happen. All right, they finally finished. JIREN got the game. Hurry up and start up the scheduled match, dude. That's it. I usually don't pick favorites, but I'm picking Big Chris because I'm just bitter. Let's go, BC. Beat this dude. Starting us 11 minutes late. And still waiting. Was it me? Did I get this whole thing wrong? Because I could have sworn this was a 1 o'clock start time. There goes our good friend. Go play golf, Nuba. And then Henry's back. Oh, there's Big Chris. Hey, Big BC. And now we're just waiting for JIREN. Yeah. Magnusio, yeah. I'm bitter. And we're still waiting for JIREN. It's hilarious. Okay. Nope, someone else joined. JIREN, you're fired. You're officially fired. And it's just Big Chris against Odo now. What? What, I mean, can someone just tell me what's happening here? Okay. So I hear stuff going on in the Discord. Do me a favor. Somebody relay some messages to me. There's Big Chris. We run a pretty tight ship over here at Stratego Freaks, as you can tell by the missed thumbnail and the late start time. And there they are. Okay. Jiren, if you're listening, dude. All right, so this should be interesting. I have no idea. I'm hoping for a fun, aggressive game. Once again, I normally don't pick between my friends, but I'm rooting for Big Chris. So, let's go BC. BC, former king of Strategus, improving all the time. And but he's got his hands full. He's up against top 15 player right now in Jiren. And the guy knows how to play. He can flat out play. I've watched Jiren play Nemesis many times, and they match up really well. And they can, it's like a coin flip between the two of those guys. So clearly, Jiren is a very solid player, well-rounded, getting better. As I mentioned, hopefully get that 700 and possibly 800 ELO sometime. All right, both guys ready, and let's go. All right, BC with the first move coming down the I-file, and they're one squaring. And they're going to just do a scout right there. 2 scouts down for BC, captain over on J6. Lieutenant. Only the 1 scout differential in the opening here. And another captain. So that's a captain on J6 and A6. And retreats that captain. He's going to take a scout there. And they got a captain on captain. Looks like there might be an exchange, and there is. All right, Jiren thinking about how to progress here. Very even game. Just a scout separates them in material. 1 captain known over on J6, and now Jiren coming down the A-file. And Big Chris looking to ensnare this piece, ganging up on it. He's going to take that. The lieutenant goes up to sergeant. Jiren up to sergeant and pressing. Now, Major discovered, scoops up the lieutenant and retreats. So, slight advantage in Big Chris's favor with the extra lieutenant. Too early to be anything significant, and but you're always trying to be up the piece, and he is right now. So good job to Big Chris for keeping this game very competitive early. So here we go. A little bit of jostling. And there's a little blockade in the center there on E and F. JIREN bringing those pieces down and posting up. Patient game thus far. These guys have played each other quite a few times. I'm not quite sure what their head-to-head stats look like, but they know their games a little bit, and we'll see if one of them has something up their sleeve. A lot of patience being shown here. Nobody's really looking to just take that crazy lotto. Just trying to figure it out. Both players with plenty of scouts left. Now JIREN pushing down. Loses a sergeant. JIREN looking to do a little discovery down there. Runs into not the piece he was looking for. Runs into a lieutenant. Was hoping to find a bomb or something stronger. Bringing up that known lieutenant now. And might as well. It's a known piece, and probably utilize that for scouting or discovery if a piece is coming down. JIREN instigating some action here. And that's an exchange. Even on scouts, the small advantage in BC's court here. Another exchange, down to 2 scouts. No big pieces revealed yet. Both players being very patient. No colonels out there known. Definitely no gen or marshals. Spies could be anywhere, as could the flag. JIREN has not moved any of his back row pieces, and the only piece on the back 2 rows for BC is that A2 piece that moved up to A3, which is lieutenant. But 9 possible bombed in locations to 10. So the flags could be anywhere. Captain Dirtbag hoping that Big Chris lottos that open flag of Jiren. A little ring around the rosy here. That piece juking, not looking to get discovered or take. And then tucks that piece back down, back to A2. Now, Jiren making a press and getting pieces down into the setup. I think this is a mystery piece and absorbs that scout. Good move by Big Chris there. Looking to take away that scouting piece, and does, only giving up the sergeant. And brings it back down, so pretty nice. And that's a scout, and he absorbs the scout and only gives up the captain information. Really pressuring that piece there on the B file. Backs up that piece with a mystery on C7. A mystery piece on C7. And goes up the captain there. So now Big Chris discovers the colonel but goes down the captain. Big piece over in Jiren's court now. Looks to kind of pressure possibly that known sergeant over there. But that'd be a bit risky. Yeah, he's bringing that colonel in. Pressure. Now brings down another piece on from the J file here. J9 looking to get involved in this attack. Now, this piece saying, I'm coming over. And he's going to take with that. He's going to take with that major and gobble up a lieutenant. And they're going to just exchange there. So that's a great job by Jiren to get a piece and then exchange. You know, he was down that lieutenant, and he gets it back. So it looks to me like Jiren's quite content on keeping the attack on this right side on the A and J. He's coming over. He wants to see. This could be anything. Could be a minor. And it was just a discover piece looking to exchange, and he found that information. Probably going to just have to exchange here. So now we've got some action. Both guys really taking their time here. BC looking to get that captain back as soon as he can. No rush. I mean, it's very even, but you hate being down the big piece against a real strong player. Mystery piece coming up. What could that be? Now Big Chris moving something up to center, doing a boa constrictor move of his own. Wanting to see what that piece is. Now retracts it. This is game one of a best of three challenge match between JIREN and Big Chris. Game one. I love a good challenge match. It's always fun. Everybody wants to have their bragging rights, and when two friends go at it, you know they'll be talking a little trash, but it's always in good fun, good-natured. And that's going to be an exchange. Big Chris out of captains. Let's see if that plays a factor. You know, if you're new to the game, just learning the game, when you get down into the end game, and if you're up the big piece, you can really take advantage of that big piece by, you know, controlling portions of the board and getting pieces down, getting that minor down. Maybe ganging up on pieces. So, you know, getting up that big piece is always good. The hard part is maintaining it. So, gobbles up the last scout, puts a captain down into the setup. JIREN down the sergeant, but up the captain. And no more scouts left for BC. There's a little bit of action happening on A and B. And JIREN's got pieces down up in the setup here. That captain's looking to do some damage or find something. Now JIREN coming down hot, and BC not having it. Scoops up that minor. Good job by BC getting rid of a minor and using the sergeant to do it. JIREN are using that minor as a scouting, trying to get down, maybe discover or open up find a bomb. And now Big Chris pushing in and retracting. Real back and forth game here. If you're tuning in, don't forget to like and subscribe. Join the Discord. There'll be a link in the description. And we'd love to have you join the Discord. There's various Discords, and I can direct you to all of them. And I think it's good to join these groups if you want to improve your game, because there's a lot of different thoughts and theories behind Stratego, and it's good to just listen to all of them. All right, so JIREN's pushing in, and there goes the last scout. And the bones of the setups are starting to become a little bit more prevalent here. And still, all the big pieces are quiet. Nobody knows anything. It's pretty wild here. And this is really interesting. You know, they're utilizing these minor pieces really well to gobble up. Now it's coming in, looking to take. It'll most likely be an insta-hit. And it is. And, you know, he'll be sacrificing that lieutenant and finding the bomb. Now, that was a great play on, even though he's down that piece, he's eyeing a couple of tripod locations here. Maybe the flag is on E1 or G1, and he's cleared out the protectors to possibly, you know, take that invading miner. But now he's JIREN being aggressive and not, you know, he is up the big piece and will, you know, is looking to, as I said, figure out the bones of the setup, and I think he did a really good job there. And now being super aggressive, coming in hot here, making Big Chris make a decision. And it's a blind spy. What a play. I knew that's what he was thinking, and he just said, I have the opportunity, and that was a huge play by Big Chris. He was thinking about it, and then he went, and now JIREN's making his move, and he has to. He's got to bring that out. We love a good blind spy. My son calls me the king of the blind spy because I always go for it. Most of the time I'm wrong. But that was a great play. If you're new to the game, those blind spies, let me tell you, one of the best move in Stratego is to, you know, he had a read or a guess, and he had the opportunity to hit, and he felt like it might be a good time to do it, and he was correct. Hats off to Big Chris, BC, with the blind spy. Let's see if he can take advantage of being up that piece right now. Big Chris down the sergeant and the captain, but up the marshal. That, you know, it's still anybody's game. You know, JIREN is a very good player, so he knows how to deal with situations like this. And if he can, you know, kind of navigate and increase the minor pieces into the end game, then he'll have the advantage. It's great to be up that big piece, but if you're down, that's a topic we've all talked about. Is, you know, I'd much rather be down the big piece and be up in material across the board. And you know, it's very hard to stop pieces coming down in the end game if you're just down. Hey, you want to change that thumbnail? Nemesis just walked into the house. He was out for doing some errands with my lovely wife. They're back. He'll be tuning in, I'm sure. Yeah, Go, go, go. Now the pace is picked up, and we're going to probably see JIREN try to, he might be trying to stall out this game a little bit and put the brakes on and force Big Chris to make the attack. And JIREN's spy could be anywhere. Now it looks like let's see what happens here. This could be an exchange of generals. BC wanting to probably going to check this D7 piece. Is this going to be the generals? I'm not sure. Is this a minor coming down? I may have lost track of some pieces here. Now the game will be tied after 100 moves, so interesting here. Okay. Looking to come around. And there's the gen. Gobbles up the spy. That was huge. So now the freedom of Big Chris's marshal is complete. He has no fear of any piece on the board. And that's very interesting. And there's the marshal. So the BC's marshal's known. They're going to exchange colonels. And now they're even on the captain piece. And I'd say, BC with the advantage with that extra marshal. But goes down a sergeant now. He's going to use the marshal and the general to scoop up this major. Oh, he's going to give it to him. That's interesting. I wonder, That might signify an open flag. Is the flag on A2? Or A1? Because the way I see it is the way the marshal was and the general position, that could have been a dead piece there. And I think that JIREN is definitely eyeing that as a possibility. So now the piece advantage with the 2 sergeant goes to JIREN. He's got pieces down in the setup. And BC content on keeping the general on the B8 to stop anything from coming down. And there's the general there. So Jen's known. Marshall still there. I think BC's got to make an assessment on this flag. You know, there's 1, 2, 3 possible tripod locations. JIREN not afraid to have an open flag either. He does that quite a bit, so it could be wide open. And now Big Chris chasing, hunting this piece down. Looking to get that lieutenant or maybe a sergeant back. He's got it pinched off here. Or is he just trying to lure it away? Maybe it's a minor, or trying to get that marshal out of there. Now bringing this other piece over. Looking to stop this one from coming down. Now at BC, you know, Chris is in a bit of a situation because he exchanged that major, and I'm not quite sure why. He's going to take that. Okay. An exchange. Now, how does BC take advantage of that the marshal? He's got to make an assessment here. He still has plenty of minors. He's got 4 minors. And he's got to find a way to get one down. You know, he's got to, first of all, eliminate anything that might be bombed in. Could be a corner flag, could be B1, could even be C1. E1 is still on the table. Or it's wide open on F through I. Could be any of those spots. I thought for a moment that BC had his flag might have been on A2. But I was incorrect there. Now the marshal pushes up. And getting up on that general. Now he's going to get this down. But he can escape it. Not looking to get anything lottoed here. And it is a minor. Did he open the flag there? Is he on the flag? Decisions. It's a double bomb. Did he get there? Another bomb. This could be it. Another bomb. And they're going to exchange. G1 is a very likely candidate of this flag. And, yep, he has that gen release now, but he's going to have to get a minor up and do something. Flag is wide open for Big Chris, and having 4 bombs gone, really challenging here. A great attack by Jiren there to get the miner down, and he's got a 1 in 6 chance, to find it. So there's 2 bombs still on the board there. All 6 for Jiren though. Plenty of time left for both players. Not a factor right now. Pretty epic game so far. I mean, that blind spy was really nice by Big Chris. But now he's found him. He's in a bit of trouble. This is not an easy situation. They're gonna play this ring around the rosy for a bit and try to figure out how to progress. If the Big Chris goes down another piece, it's going to be very hard to get something up there. So he might just have to post up his general down there and do a Hail Mary, hit. And I am thinking that G1 is the flag now. Unless that move, I can't remember if that moved. It could be H1. So hard to say. So now another piece coming down. I'm not sure what that is. It's most likely a sergeant. That's what I think. All right, another piece out. Okay, so things are getting thinned out over there. Jiren's going to be trying to make a run down the board here. Doesn't want it to get down, but it's going to get past. It's coming straight down. This is blocked off now. Pushing up. Will this be? No. He's coming over now to get this, trying to wrap this one up. Pushes. Another exchange. But now there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 possible flag locations. This really could just come down to a guessing game. And, where the miners still, every piece that BC moves, especially off the back row, if he moves one of those miners, which there is, then that just eliminates or gives Jiren the more information about where he could strike, so this is very interesting. Now he's coming down, and he might just be, he's trying to pinch this off here. And now it looks like it's gonna come down to a guess, and I think he's going to hit the... No, he's moving. He's he's going to force him to hit something here. All right, so 2 possible tripod locations. They're going to exchange that major, and another piece is going to have to move for BC. He's going to have to bring a minor up here, and you know, he's got 2 left, so he could open up one of the spots, and then it might just be him trying to make a 1 out of, let me see, 1 out of 9. He has 3 pieces, so if he can get a minor down or 2, that would leave 3 squares left for JIREN to guess on the flag. And, you know, I think, yeah, we're looking at it here, though. Really competitive game, really fun game. Impressed by both. Oh, and here comes that. So my theory of G1 was wrong. This looks like the minor, and the minor, you know, has 2 choices here. One of those could be the flag. The C9 and the E9 could be the tip of the tripod, and this could be it. Sorry about that. Real exciting endgame here. Here he comes. He's going to test it. He's on it. Is it the flag? He takes there, and it's not. So we've got an open flag now. It could be anywhere. So he's going to have to get those pieces, both players down to 1 minor. Pressing. Interesting. JIREN might have to move something else here. Yeah, looking to get something down the board. And he is. And it looks like he's going to make a guess here on H1. And it's the flag! What a game! What a game. BC had, you know, the advantage with the big piece, but then it just couldn't get there. Wasn't quite sure which piece to hit. And JIREN pulls a rabbit out of his hat and guesses correctly. And great game by both guys. That was super fun. And it was a back and forth match. And congratulations to JIREN finding a way to win with that general still on the board. So, wow, I can't wait for game 2. And but we're going to give that game to BC because of JIREN's late start. And so game 1 to BC. Just kidding. Hopefully in the next match, JIREN will turn up on time. Guys, I do have to go. I had just like a crazy emergency text that I've got to deal with right now. But I'll keep you guys in the loop for when the next game is going to take place. And that was a lot of fun. I think we can all agree on that. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and don't forget about the semifinal between Marcy Regina Noob and Mantis tomorrow. Guys, I got to run. I'll see you soon. Have a great day. Bye.